Yay! Another video from your favourite boy.
I'm never saying that again. That was appalling. I apologise to anyone that saw that. Hello, I'm Redmast. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be ranking my favourite anime arcs of all time. And just to preface that this means anime or manga arcs, because I accept that sometimes the anime is just not very good. So the manga is better. So I'm including the best version of the arc is the easiest way to put it. FYI, there'll be like spoilers for all of the anime manga that I'm gonna list right here. Look, there's a big list. Put it right here. It's right in front of me. It's floating here. Okay, you've had long enough to look at it. Yeah, there's spoilers for all those. If you haven't seen them, that don't watch this, or you know, watch. I mean, they're not heavy spoilers, but there are spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with number 10, the Cochlear Raid from Tokyo Ghoul. Yes, the arc about raiding a prison full of dangerous ghouls, whilst another battle was happening on another island, and then we find out that this guy that's basically been the main antagonist to Ken Kaneki for the entirety of the story so far is actually the main good guy and is what we call the One-Eyed King. Yeah, that was a bit of a plot twist, and I liked it, and I read the manga first of this, so it wasn't ruined for me. It was epic. It was some really cool fights, great artwork, and the twist actually made sense and did well done in the story. So I've got to give it credit where credit's due. Farmland arc from Vinland Saga. I just finished season 2 I read the manga before watching season 2, and I think season 2 of Vinland Saga, which covers this arc, is it amazing. Mappa did a great job covering Vinland Saga's farm arc. It is a very sad story about slavery and overcoming your past, and I love Thorfinn, and his story is so well written in the manga and in the anime, and I'm so happy how they did it in the anime specifically, because the animation quality didn't go downhill at any point, I think, and it just felt like a proper anime season, a good season of anime, which I haven't seen in a while. Also had some great new characters that I really liked, like Snake, and like you know, some of the older characters as well, like Canute, and it just worked so well with how the story was going originally. So I'm really happy with it. Number 8 is gonna put this one. Some people put higher. I can't really give it much more credit, but it's the Promised Day arc. Now this is the ending to Fullmetal Alchemist, and it's the final arc of Fullmetal Alchemist, and Fullmetal Alchemist is considered by a lot of people a very, very good anime. Some of its fans are a bit
Toxic.
and do crowd up MAL lists all the time, but it's still a good arc and it's still enjoyable. And Fullmetal Alchemist itself is just a very enjoyable anime / manga. I actually prefer the anime of this one, especially the dub. The dub is just really nice to watch, and I really love how they concluded Edward, Alphonse, Hohenheim's, basically all characters' stories. It is a bit generic with how it handled the villain. The villain was just a big bad guy who wanted to become God, and then he didn't become God. But the real best part is the main heroes of the story just were done a lot better in this, and I can't say too much bad about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood specifically, because Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood was probably the first major anime I watched that actually got me into anime, so I have a lot to thank it for. Number 7, I'm going to put the Soul Society arc. Yep, the arc that basically every Bleach fan uses as an argument to say that Bleach is good. I like Bleach, FYI. I binged like 1000 Year Blood War Core 2 in like the last day, and it's still really good. And Thousand Year Blood War for the first part was absolutely amazing. So, and but obviously when people talk about Bleach, they usually think of this arc specifically. Soul Society is where the story really kicked up a notch, where character development was done brilliantly. We got big development on characters like Rukia, and then we got new characters we hadn't really met before, like Renji, Byakuya, Kenpachi Zaraki.
Everybody loves him.
And just all the captains, basically most of the world is introduced in this arc, and obviously, big spoiler here, but we got the big plot twist that Aizen is a villain. Obviously, knew Aizen was a villain when I watched Bleach, but if you had watched it in the old day, there's no way you would have seen that plot twist, and it was absolutely amazing to watch. And he's just so epic, Aizen. This arc has some brilliant fights, especially the one between Renji and Byakuya, Ishigo and Kenpachi Zaraki, and Byakuya and Ishigo, because those are just really well done fights, especially for an anime that's made in the 2000s, like Bleach was. If I'm comparing it to other of the big three animes, it has some of the best animation quality in those episodes specifically. Right, next one is probably the newest arc that has been written in any form of media. That is the Shabuya Incident arc. Yeah. This is from Jujutsu Kaisen. It was an arc I didn't see coming. I'm gonna be honest. Jujutsu Kaisen was always one of those shows that kind of felt like a shonen version of Parasite. If that's probably not the best way to describe it, but it's kind of horror shonen. But it still had a lot of shonen traits that were very much there. Its story was still pretty brilliant, but it was still a shonen with like big fights, with big powers, and people obviously died, but we hadn't really lost any major characters in early Jujutsu Kaisen in any arc before Shibuya. This arc just was like, it was one of the darkest arcs I've ever seen, and that it worked really well. There are some big character deaths that you just won't see coming, and I didn't see them coming, and it worked really well. So the story, it did not deteriorate how the story was going. Jujutsu Kaisen became worse, I guess, after this arc. That's the only main issue, is that the arc after had to kind of just couldn't handle it. Shibuya arc is still a brilliant arc of anime, well, of manga currently. It's gonna be in the anime in the coming weeks, and I'm really happy for that and looking forward to it. I'm going to binge watch season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen when the full thing has come out. At number 5, I have put the Zero Requiem arc of Code Geass. The days when I watched Code Geass. This was one of the early animes I saw. When I was told that it's if I wanted a good dubbed anime, because sometimes I do like to just relax and watch a dubbed anime, then I should watch Code Geass. Code Geass apparently had a very good dub, so I began watching it. I actually unsurprisingly, compared to other people who seem to watch this show after Death Note specifically, as many people compare Light to Lelouch, it was weird because I watched it the other way around, but yeah, this was a really great arc that you just don't see many of the twists coming. Many characters die. Also, many characters. There's lots of betrayal and lots of. It's basically a big chess game, but in this case, this arc is where the main character we've been following for quite a while in this show becomes a proper villain. It kind of brings up a lot of questions of morality, and that is done really well by the end. And he's neither a hero nor a villain, and it's actually really sad, but also it's a very
2 hours later.
bleak but yet happy ending, which is kind of weird way to put it. But Code Geass is very good at doing that. Number 4, I have the Pain arc. Yeah, Naruto fans everywhere are just having a field day here. Like,
It's not number 1. How could you do that? This is Naruto.
I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, Pain arc is by far the best Naruto arc by miles. It's one of the best arcs of all time. There's no questioning that. It's just done so well. I don't know what has to be said. Pain is a brilliant villain. The fight between Naruto and Pain is brilliant. The speeches, just a lot of characters are given big moments to shine. Like Hamaru, like Choji even. We get a proper. It feels this arc feels properly ninja. It feels like this could actually be the finale of Naruto. There's actually massive like consequences for going easy on the Katsuki. Pain destroys Konoha. I never pronounced that correctly, but he destroys the village, and I was just blown away that they would allow that to happen. So many people were allowed to die. It did feel a bit of a cop out with the ending. I mean, he brought everyone back. It still feels a bit of a cop out, but apart from that, the arc is pretty amazing, and it's not going to change places for quite a while, unless I reconsider, unless any new arcs come out. At number 3, I have put the York New City arc from Hunter x Hunter. Yes, if you're wondering, Chimera Ant arc is not on this list. I just never enjoyed the Chimera Ant arc. York New does right what Chimera Ant did wrong. It's a shorter arc, but it still introduces a plethora of characters, all who are quite likable, and that's saying something because most of the characters it introduces are massive psychopaths, yet they are all quite a lot more likable than a lot of the Chimera Ants, which is very weird. Considering the Chimera Ant arc is like 60 episodes long, and York News only like under 20 episodes. It's less than a third of the Chimera Ant arc, and it handles everything brilliantly. Some great fights like Kurapika versus the spiders. It's just really fun. There's also what's his name, Zeno versus Crollo, and there's just so much in it that builds the world really nicely. Get a lot, and this is also an arc where I just feel like the narrator wasn't overtly talking throughout all of it, which is kind of my problem for a lot of the rest of Hunter x Hunter. Is just the narrator, he doesn't stop talking, and I'm just like, please shut up. I also just liked how it ended. It wasn't a big climactic arc. It kind of ended more realistically to how the world would, and it actually treated Kurapika's character as something complex. Number 2, the one before number 1, yep, is Marineford. What arc you've all been waiting for. Yes, this is probably my favourite One Piece arc in terms of just quality. My probably actual favourite One Piece arc is Impel Down, but I had to give credit where credit's due. Marineford is just another monster entirely. I'm not just talking about half the characters who are in it, who are also entire monsters. But it's just so much that happens in this arc. We're introduced to all the admirals fully. We're introduced to pretty much all the marines, the Whitebeard pirates, and then we get all the warlords together. Basically, all the characters that we've met up to this point come together for a massive battle that has massive consequence for the entire world, and in the end, the villains win. In a series like One Piece, you don't expect the villains to win, but they do, and it works so much with the story, and it builds Luffy's character so well, because he actually goes through such horrifying tribulations in this arc that, like, it just makes the next part of One Piece even better, and that's reason why One Piece is probably my favourite manga of all time. It also just has some epic moments, like Whitebeard saying the One Piece is real, basically, and it also just has massive panels of all this stuff going on. Both the anime and the manga handled it beautifully. It's just amazing, and I can't really say much more. Marineford is definitely a big hitter, but not as big a hitter That's my favourite manga arc of all time, the Golden Age arc from Berserk. If you know me, you know I love Berserk. I mean, I have the tattoo, and if I can just rotate home. Yeah, there's a Berserk tattoo I got. Yeah, what can I say about Berserk? It's ranked as probably one of the best mangas of all time, and this arc is largely why. An arc that handles the development of one character right from when he was a kid all the way to probably the most traumatic part of his life, and it also makes the villain builds one of the most compelling villains ever in Griffith. I've never met a villain like Griffith. I don't think I ever will. He's just so, I don't even know how to explain. Horrifyingly beautiful. That's how I describe Griffith. It's just, it feels like such a happy arc at times, but it's also so depressing in the end. And it also really builds Berserk's story to this thing that is leaps and bounds above other manga and anime. To the point that I don't think it'll be a while before I find an anime or manga arc, possibly the final arc of One Piece, that might beat this arc to be my favourite. It's just too good. It just handles everything beautifully. The artwork is amazing. Characters are so lovely, but also it goes dark. It respects its audience's intelligence, and it also uses visuals to handle the story. It doesn't just put everything in text like some other stories on this list have. It's just kind of flawless in my opinion. If you have a different opinion on any other arcs that you really love, that you think are actually the best of all time, please just leave a comment. If you also, could you please subscribe, because I really do need subscribers.
I've not got any subscribers.
I need to stop doing these weird accents. Or do I? Also comment about that. Anyway, see ya in the
Next one.